same thing here. You have a coordinate definition for the polygons, and then you have a feature definitions for the polygons, and you define the geometry of polygons. So difference between that one, just line string with the 2 points compositions here, the multi-point composition doesn't matter how many points, but at least you need 3, and then it's built automatically. So it's a polygon definitions and define your features, and you did the transformation between the projections, like your geometry projection, your features, select your features, coordinates, points, get geometry, and transform the geometry from this projection system to this projection systems. And you did it as vector resources with the definition of the resources, features, and then define your finally vector layers, like with your resource features and your styles, and add the policies. Exactly same thing here happening. Your the third polygons here, and then fourth, and then it's exactly same. That means we already define how has to be built a points line polygon into the maps. That means later what we need to change, like these conditions, like where we take the data from where. That means the data coming from the microservices that we define. That means microservice has the latitude, longitude information to the maybe different machines or different server of the machines. I call services, I take the coordinate points, fill the coordinate point, build the polygons. Very simple, very, very easy. But you need to be clearly understand how complete process is done. So you need to be coordinate defined, you need to features defined, geometry defined, which type of geometry it is, and then you need to be vector resource defined, and then later you need to be define your style with your vector resources, and add these features, add these vector resource, the layers into the maps. This is the single line of command, this.maps.add layers, and put it how much you need to do. This is the difficulties, the licensing issues. If you have thousands of layers into the Google Maps, you cannot. You need to be buy something. You need to get the license from Google. You can, but for the OpenStreetMap, there is no limitation. Of course, there is limitation for the rendering from your side, but from the Google, from the OpenStreetMap itself, there is no limitation. This is free. You can do thousands or millions of, depending your application capacities, depending on your hardware capacities. So you have added the third polygons. You added here the fourth polygons, second polygons. Reverse it like differently. So, and this is the third polygons. The fifth polygons maybe we can do together with the second polygons, and the very next polygons. Let's say we copied this polygon. Same thing. Copied it, put it here. It's not copied. Oh my goodness, my mouse doesn't work. Sorry. So what I need to define the coordinates points, maybe I already coded the coordinates points somewhere. Maybe you can look for data sets, maybe last coordinate point. So this is the coordinates point I already defined here. So I recorded from the maps, and maybe I click it here. Maybe this is the click it point, I click it here. So I get the coordinates point from here and copied it. Maybe there is a special tool I need to implement to get this coordinate automatically and build the structure that I need. So this is the standards. The polygons, you define here the coordinates that you need, and this is the coordinates points, polygons. This polygon layers to transform it, and then you add to the vectors as a vector resource, and then you define your layers, and then that's all. So you define your coordinate points, define what type of geometry it is, and define your features with transformation that you have it to transform. And then you have the vectors and vector layers, then with the layer and styles, and at the end of the day you add it here. So let's have it works or not. So let's refresh it. You see, there's a maps. There's a coming this polygon that you recorded here. So it was not there, even though you can make additional one, but I have not enough time to just give you idea how it works. You record it with click, or maybe additional tools. I need to be click 4 coin clicks, or maybe click and then click it, and then automatically my tool has to be close it the polygon and save the information that I need to the real structure, like this structure, like coordinate structure. And then you see the now is the make click event. I write some small event, like say click event, map.on click events, and function the argument pass, and then it's get the log coordinates, and log coordinates point is transformed to the from here to there, and then there's a log in console, and then I get it. Okay, it's the latitude, longitude, the very lat long. That's the function call from the OpenStreetMaps. And then this is 0 position means longitude or latitude, and 1 means 0 position, 1 means the latitude, and I give it alarm for this one. That's why you get the alarm from here. When I click it something, I get the alarm. So you see the longitude and latitude, even though any combination. But I try to optimize the tools itself. When I click in it and record it, and that's it works automatically. Need to be handled these things. So you get a really clear idea what need to be do, what has the plans. That means our geo functionality is almost in the various functionality is there. So you need a data to build the maps to your layers. That means your data coming from the address, user registration, the plot registration, building registration, floor unit registration. That's all. This data is coming, your functionality is there, function is there, just you need to fill your data and build your object respective. So it doesn't matter points or lines, string or polygons, it works. So this is the mouse implementations, and this is one of the functions like when you deploy the application somewhere, someone need to maybe not when it's not application in Bangladesh, maybe Germany, and then they can dynamically set the coordinate points for that I say the coordinate point here, coordinate points for the center location, so that he can just put it here, these functions, and give it to latitude, longitude, and then they can switch on, switch off where the application try to deploy. Of course, where you register your plots, buildings, and depending you change your zoom levels. So here the zoom level you said already discussed here. This zoom, how much zoom level you can change it here from zoom level 13 to 14, or even though smaller, depending how your service your application cover it here. If it's covering whole country of Bangladesh, then you cannot put it here zoom level 13. You need to be zoom level maybe 8 or 5 or 6, depending. You need to see there. If it's really small area of application, maybe a small set of housing area, maybe 1 kilometer per 1 kilometer, that stays the zoom level 10 or 12 or 13 is enough for you, maybe, depending on so on. So you get the really clear idea in the very, very fast screencast. I give you the theoretical concept, how the start the requirement design, how the deployment works, how the necessary third-party components integrations, how install the Node.js, how the CLI integration, and how can you build the Angular and TypeScript based applications, and how can you import the Angular and TypeScript application to the Visual Studio Code, maybe with different IDE it use, and how can you build the components, how can you build the classes, how can you build the interfaces, how can you build the services, and how can you how they integrate your CSS, specific CSS in the components level, even though in the global levels, and that's all. And even though you can set it your routing levels, you can the routes and where you can need to route, and you do applications. You see that these components is integrated with the parents, the parents applications like parent HTML files. So you see the call our components. You can show components here, one component here. Maybe this parent application has 10 or 20 components need to be called, and depending control of your applications. So I will put it all the necessary resources into my GitHub. You can get it from there. I will make a some branches, then you can take the from the branches. When my development is done, then I will put my master to the for you. You can download it, you can clone it to the branch and check it in your site. Is everything work properly? Just don't forget the subscribes my channels and write down your comments, and and share my channels and others, your friends, or your neighbors, your colleagues, or all the developers, to share in those this is the most important one application. I try my best to share with you, and then I try to get your knowledge with the subscribing, or you can write down the commands, and then what need to be changed, or what the expectation, what I need to be extend, or what the input, possible input and output from your side and from my side, and then make a really best application to get it learned from very beginning level to the very enterprise level application, means that from the professional level, beginning level to the professional level applications. I will continue the further developments. Just stay with me, and thank you, and bye bye, goodbye.